μας.
Για πρώτη φορά στην Κύπρο ένα μοναδικό υπερθέαμα στον πάγο. Moscow on Ice. Καθημερινά από 4 μέχρι 11 Μαρτίου στο Μόντε Καπούτο. Θεσμικός χορηγός Russian Commercial Bank Cyprus. Χορηγός επικοινωνίας RIC.
Βλέπετε RIC 2.
Good evening, you're watching the news in English from the CYBC in Nicosia. I'm Nathan Morley. Tonight's top story. Briton Julian Harrington was sentenced to 15 years imprisonment after being found guilty for the manslaughter of 17-year-old Christos Papiris in Protaras last year. Harrington was also sentenced to 6 years imprisonment for causing grievous bodily harm to 17-year-old Marios Dimitriou. Papiris and Dimitriou were riding their moped on a road in Protaras when the Briton hit it, killing Papiris and injuring Dimitriou. Harrington believed the two youths were people he had had an argument with earlier that night. Before the sentencing, the court allowed Papiris' father, Michalis, to make a statement. The father talked about his son and called for justice. The court president praised Michalis Papiris' behaviour during the whole procedure leading up to the sentence. Meanwhile, according to the CYBC correspondent in Larnaca, the Attorney General's office will submit an appeal against the court's decision to render not guilty Harrington's co-defendants in the same case. The court, in a majority decision, had dropped the charges against Luke Atkinson and Michael Binnington. A Chinese national confessed to a double murder at a village in Paphos early this morning. The culprit was found hidden in a bush 150 metres from where the murder took place and had injuries to the arm and rib area. The deputy police chief said the Chinese man said that he committed the murder, citing differences with a Greek Cypriot, Dimitris Trakos. According to the Chinese man, the second victim, a Slovakian woman who was in the bed with Trakos at the time of her murder, tried to stop the culprit with a gun, and for this reason he stabbed her. Trakos, who's 38, a restaurant and farm owner, was taken to Polis Hospital with serious knife injuries but died early this morning. Another 2 women from Bulgaria who were in the house at the time of the murder were also slightly injured. Former President of the Republic, Lafkos Clerides, is recuperating after suffering from stomach pains. His personal physician told CYBC that Mr. Clerides is undergoing medical examinations. He also said this new development has nothing to do with the operation that Mr. Clerides underwent 10 days ago. His doctor said the former president's general health is very good and he's not facing any problems. Scientists today began the process of separating the bones as well as the personal belongings thought to be of Turkish Cypriots who were killed during the bicommunal disturbances of 1964. The remains were found in a 12-metre deep well here in Nicosia. Zenforon Kalis, a member of the Missing Persons Committee, said that following the cleaning and sorting out, the bones will be taken to laboratories where they will be recognised through the DNA process. This might take up to 3 months. Asked to comment on reports in a Turkish Cypriot newspaper that the number of Turkish Cypriots found is around 40, Mr. Kalis said that he is not aware of any such information, adding that the tests will eventually show it. Nicosia is launching a new round of negotiations with the German presidency of the EU over the Turkish Cypriots direct trade regulation. The Foreign Minister, Yorgos Lilikas, said that the government is ready to move ahead on the direct trade issue on one condition, that is that all efforts are directed at the financial integration and reunification of Cyprus and not develop divisive tendencies and entrenched division in this country. Opposition Dizzy leader Nikos Anastasiadis said that next week he will ask for a meeting with President Papadopoulos so that he can be briefed on his visit to Athens. He added that he will also discuss the direct trade issue with President Papadopoulos. Mr. Anastasiadis expressed his readiness to promote the government's positions during contacts with the popular European Party leaders, among them the German Chancellor Angela Merkel. That's it for our news this evening from the CYBC. Let's take a quick look at tomorrow's weather forecast. Fine skies are forecast. However, later in the day there will be showers over the mountains and dust settling in the atmosphere. Winds will generally be light to moderate, northeasterly to southeasterly, force 3 to 4, turning moderate westerly to southwesterly, force 4 over slight seas. Temperatures will reach 21 degrees Celsius inland and in coastal areas, and just 12 degrees over the mountains. Let's take a look at what's on television tonight. Very exciting stuff here. We have a live transmission from our studios at 9:15 of this year's Cyprus Eurovision entry. That's Cyprus 12 points. It comes live from here on CYBC 1, 9:15. Now here on 2, you can see Fatherhood, an action movie, at 21:15 tonight. And remember, you can see this newscast later in the evening across Europe, Africa and the Middle East via the Hotbird satellite. You can find details on our website, www.cybc.com.cy. From me, Nathan Morley, have a great weekend. Good night.